Today, we are diving deep into a single chapter from the ancient book of Proverbs, chapter 5 to be exact, and we're going to turn it into a full-on cinematic journey. We'll explore one critical choice and the two very different paths that branch out from it, making its wisdom something you won't forget.
You know, this one question is really the heart of this entire story. I want you to think of this not just as some old piece of advice, but as a real decision you might be facing. You're at a fork in the road, and we're about to see exactly where each path leads. Okay, let's dive in. Our story kicks off with a father's really urgent plea to his son. And he's not just giving some boring lecture. No, he's painting this incredibly vivid picture of a danger that, on the surface, looks just beautiful, almost irresistible.
So picture this, a father. You can see the concern on his face, and he's leaning in close to his son. His voice is low, serious, almost a whisper. It's like he's sharing a life or death secret, something he desperately needs his son to not just hear, but to really truly get. The stakes are sky high right from the jump.
Verse 2. So what's the whole point of this secret wisdom? Well, it's all about self-control. Imagine a heavy, ornate, secure lock clicking shut over your own lips. Now, this isn't about being silent. It's about protecting what's valuable on the inside, your good judgment, your knowledge, and making sure foolish words just can't escape. Verses 3 and 4. And here's where we see the trap laid out in this amazing contrast. First, you get the promise. Just imagine beautiful golden honey dripping from her lips, words as smooth and slick as oil. But then, in a flash, that whole image just warps. The honey turns into this bitter, black gunk, and out of the darkness, you see the cold glint of a two-edged sword. That beautiful promise was hiding a really painful reality.
Verse 5. Now the camera sort of pans down from her face to her feet. We see these elegant shoes walking forward with so much confidence. But they are not on solid ground. Nope, they're going down a dark, cracking staircase that leads right into a bottomless black void. Every single step is a step closer to total destruction. And this right here shows the core of the deception so brilliantly. I mean, why do people follow this path? Because it looks like life. But imagine trying to walk on a path that's literally made of shifting sand. With every step you take, the ground just changes shape under you. It is completely unstable, unpredictable. There's no solid footing anywhere. You can't know it because it's never the same path twice.
So now, the father's warning kind of shifts gears. It's not just about describing the danger anymore. It becomes this direct, urgent command, and he starts spelling out the catastrophic price you pay for taking that unstable path.
Verse 7. This is the father raising his voice now, demanding attention. Imagine a huge modern road sign and it's flashing a single urgent message in bright red. Do not depart. It's an absolute non-negotiable command. Verse 8. The instruction here is crystal clear. Create distance. Don't just try to avoid her, get far away. Picture someone walking down a street and up ahead they see this dimly lit, kind of alluring doorway. Instead of slowing down for a peek, they make a sharp, deliberate 90-degree turn and start walking with purpose in the total opposite direction. It's an active choice to get away.
And here's the first part of the price tag: your honor, your strength, your very life force. Just visualize a vibrant, healthy, green tree. All of a sudden, a thick hose gets plunged into its roots, and all of its life-giving water is siphoned away, not to another tree, but to feed this thorny, cruel-looking parasitic vine. Your life is literally drained to fuel something destructive.
Verse 10. Next up is the material cost. This is about losing everything you have ever worked for. Imagine your hands are full of hard-earned, gleaming gold coins. But you can't hold on to them. They just pour like sand right through your fingers, landing in the open, waiting bags of a complete stranger who did absolutely nothing to earn them.
Verse 11. And finally, you have the physical toll. After your honor and your wealth are gone, your body itself pays the price. Picture a man looking into a cracked mirror, but he doesn't even recognize the person staring back, just this frail, sickly, wasted version of himself. This is the tragic end of the line on that path.
Verses 12 and 13. And now we hear his voice. This is the soundtrack of ultimate regret. The words, "How I have hated instruction," they just echo in a vast, empty, dark room. It is the desperate, lonely cry of someone who now sees everything with perfect clarity, but it is far, far too late to change a thing.
Verse 14. And this ruin, it wasn't a private thing, oh no. This is all about public shame. The final scene on this path of ruin is a single person, standing all alone and exposed under a harsh, solitary spotlight, right in the center of a huge, silent crowd. Everybody's watching. There is absolutely nowhere to hide. But the story doesn't end there. Just as we hit rock bottom, the entire tone shifts, like dramatically. The camera pans away from all that ruin, and we are shown the powerful, life-giving alternative. We're shown the other path. Verse 15. The imagery here just becomes pure, clean, and refreshing. Instead of stolen pleasures, we see ownership and deep satisfaction. Picture a person kneeling by their very own personal stone-lined well. They are joyfully drinking handfuls of clear, cold water that they have drawn themselves. It belongs to them, and it is totally life-sustaining.
Verses 16 and 17. Now we get to see why it's so important to protect what's precious. First, imagine that beautiful water just overflowing, getting wasted in muddy streets. A total loss. But then, picture a boundary of pure light forming around the well, containing the water, keeping it safe, private, and valuable.
Verse 18. This is the picture of what true blessing looks like. We see a loving husband and wife standing together. They are laughing, just sharing a moment of pure joy. And behind them, in the bright sunlight, is a beautiful, sparkling fountain, a symbol of their blessed and vibrant life together.
Verse 19. The imagery here becomes poetic, intimate and beautiful. It's talking about a graceful, captivating kind of love. Picture a husband looking at his wife, not with lust, but with just complete wonder and adoration. They're lost in a tender, loving embrace, completely and totally enraptured with one another. Verse 20. And now, after seeing both of these cinematic stories play out, the trail of ruin and the fountain of life, the father asks the ultimate question directly to his son, and really directly to us. After seeing the promise versus the reality, why would you ever choose the path of destruction? The choice should be pretty obvious by now. And finally, the story wraps up, not with the father's voice, but with the ultimate reality of the situation. There's a final observer who sees which path we take, and that adds this final, heavy layer of accountability to the choice. Verses 22 and 23. This is where we see that our actions, they create their own consequences. Visualize a person just hopelessly tangled up in these thick, heavy ropes. But as you look closer, you realize they've been weaving these ropes themselves with every single bad decision. Trapped, they just walk straight into a disorienting fog and right off the edge of a cliff. We end on verse 21, and this is the final, powerful, wide shot of our whole cinematic journey. No matter which path a person chooses, the trail of ruin or the blessed fountain, they are never walking alone or in secret. Every step, every choice is seen and it's weighed. And that is a thought to really ponder long after this is over.